pizzas for $6.99 each, or get 2 burgers for the same price. Your choice.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. A special thank you to everybody that reached out to me yesterday with healing vibes. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Not feeling great this morning, but the show must go on. Thank you, Jesus. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, no, in a world of hurt. But we soldier on. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Queenie, and everybody. A lot of kindness from everybody yesterday. I appreciate it incredibly. Maybe you guys know how it is when you're going through stuff and you have pals. It makes it easier. Makes it easier, right, Laura Devine? Good morning, everybody. Oh, that's all. Thank you, Juan. You just did. I appreciate it. Here we are. It's a beautiful morning. 40 people, 19 likes. Even I can do that math, Higgs. Even I can do that math and know it's just a tick below 20 or 50%. Nerdy, I missed you too. I could have used your smile yesterday. Good morning. Oh, by the way, Jesus Christ, I looked up the history of Cornhole. It was bothering me so much I had to look up the history. I was like, why do they keep calling it Cornhole? Can we just go back to bag toss or beanbag or toss across or watermelon hole? Okay, Justin won a tournament last night. Justin, you've got to get together with Mushmouth. A couple of winners. Congratulations, Justin. Yeah. They got to call it something different, right, Brian? See? So I was like, why do they call it Cornhole? That was kind of bugging me. Hey, it's anything but Cornhole. We grew up in the 60s and 70s. Cornhole meant something completely different. Yeah. It's completely different back in the day. If you wanted to really be funny, you added Oleo. Cornholio. Cornhole. Basic. Why do they call it Cornhole? Because the original bags, the original, very different meaning, Cleanie. You remember back in the day. No, back in the day, here's the reason. Back in the day, they filled bean bags with corn kernels. That's it. It's that simple. There were corns in the bag, and then they threw it into a hole. They made it as easy as you possibly can. Corn, hole. Done. That's the name of our new sport. They were made of corn. So it's not corn anymore. They're using, I don't know, beans or something. It does not have to be corn in the bag anymore. But it has to weigh a certain amount and the bag has to be a certain size. That's about it. Corn, hole. Corn. Go in that hole. Okay. Philip, would it bother you if I was? Philip Polkare, would it bother you? Oh, Justin, thanks for the technical information. Good morning, everybody. My exes don't think I am, but you know, if it's gonna bother one, Philip, well then, hey. Oh, good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's a crazy game. Corn, meet the hole. Enough said. Mike Butterball, good morning. Derek, Aaron, Mark Z, Sammy P, Cleany. I see you all. Derek Anderson. So I didn't mail anything yesterday. If you were waiting for something in the mail, I didn't get to the post office yesterday and have anything out on the porch for the postman for my buddy Leon. So everything will go out today. Okay? Anything that is on the back burner over here, we'll burn it out today. Get out to you. All right? If you've been checking your tracking and you don't see any movement, the tracking is not wrong. There had been no movement and it'll go up today. If you're waiting. Captain, it was, yeah, it still is. We have more problems that we're going to have to deal with in the old dental situation. Yep. Hey, Jesus Christ, look for a meteor shower. There's supposed to be some kind of a huge meteor shower all over the place. I don't know if it's going to hit the southern hemisphere or not. Mushmouth, talk to Justin LaFlower. He just won a tournament. Kim, so every time you saw your neighbor, you got dental PTSD? Yeah, check it out. I don't know if if it's down in the southern hemisphere or not, but there is here. Okay. Let's turn it around and let's get us started here. Good morning. Good morning to all, and to all a good morning. AI. What are we going to do about AI? We're just going to let it happen to us, right? We're just going to let AI happen. There it is. AI's scary. It's starting to get scary to me. Watched a thing on the news this morning. You know what they're doing now? You know what they're doing now? I don't know if this is going to turn out to be a thing. The billionaires are pushing it. We can't fight it. We're using it at work. AI is never going to be able to play cornhole. Did you know that? AI is never going to be good at cornhole. But I was watching an article this morning. Tell me what you think. There's a company out there making a program, AI program called First Draft. First Draft. And what it is, check it out. When nowadays, police are all wearing body cams. We're trying to get all our police to wear body cams. And then whatever actions they're taking are recorded on their body cam. Am I right? So we're not talking politics here by any means. This is technology only. We're talking. Forget police brutality fund, defund. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about technology. There's a technology of wearing a body cam. Okay. Now, when a policeman goes back to the police station, he plugs his body cam information into an AI, and the AI will generate a police report based off of whatever it saw on the body cam. And that's called first draft. It gives the policeman a first draft report, and then they go in and adjust it, tickle in the report. And Kim, that's what they say. It takes, an average report takes 45 minutes for a policeman to write. This will bring it minutes. Boom. 10-minute report. Cleaning and scaring me. Now we're trusting AI to charge us with crimes. Whoa. And the more that an AI writes a police report, the more police report. And my sense is, this is just sense, I don't think that it's going to be, the reports are going to be balanced in favor of the perpetrators. Higgs, I don't know. Why can't the guy just write a report? What your human eye saw. And then we'll compare that to your body cam and see how accurate a reporter you are. AI is going to be sending people to jail. Hip Kitty, they're fiction already. That's kind of true, isn't it? I know the one time they falsified information on a report about me once. So that's why when I watch TV, sometimes I'm like, and they say they framed me, and I'm thinking they could have. You know, it's not unheard of. They falsified a few little pieces of information on my report, that's for sure. So, and I was a nobody, no crimer. Anyways, I'm not trying to be anti-cop, because I'm not. You guys know, some of you know, that my sister-in-law, Tina, 1990, my sister-in-law, my brother worked for the fire department, Los Angeles Fire Department. My sister she was one of my very, very best friends in high school. She used to cheat off of my homework paper. I love Tina. She used to cheat. I used to let her copy my papers. And about 3 years after high school, my brother brings her home. Like, here's my date. And I'm like, hey, pal. She didn't know I had a brother, that I'd be there. And I didn't know she was dating my brother. So Tina and I were like this. Okay, I love Tina. And she had 2 babies, 20s. And they're off to school. They're in grade school. And she decided when she was 30 years old to be a Los Angeles policewoman. She was the oldest girl in her class, so the girls in her class all called her mom in her academy class. 1990. She's a rookie. She's out of academy training, and she's out for the first year. The cops all drive around with what they call a TO, a training officer. And she was on a midnight shift. Who's interested in hearing this story? Who's interested? Some of you have already heard it. Who's interested in hearing this? So you guys are paying attention. Good. She was about 6 months on the job, and she was on a night shift, like midnight, like it was like the morning. And the training officer's job is to get their trainee into all sorts of situations in the year that they're out there as a rookie, so that they can have been exposed just about anything they could see on the streets. They're driving, it's in North Hollywood. They're driving down the road, and there's two guys walking. They're behind them, and they can see that the two guys have beer cans out. Public, open container in public. And he says, Kirby, have you ever done an open container in public? No. Okay, well, we'll talk to these guys. He made a mistake at this point. He drives past them, turns the corner, and he parks the cruiser to where it's going to intercept them when they came walking up. The two guys turned around as soon as he saw the cruiser turn. One of the two guys turned around and ran, took off. I'm out of here. Well, that kind of could have been expected, huh? Training. The second guy pulls out a pistol, runs up to the passenger window of the cop car. My sister-in-law is just starting to open the door, and he shoots her in the head. Boom. She never even got out of the car. Training officer jumps out, wastes the guy. But Tina, you can look her up. Tina Kerbrat, the first woman to die in the line of duty in the Los Angeles Police Department history. In retrospect, it could have even been avoided had the training officer taken a different course. Human. That's not the issue. The police department did a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job taking care of my niece and my nephew. The Fraternal Organization of Police, they put together a whole deal where the two kids could pick any college they wanted in California and put them through college. And they had a few other, things that they worked with them as they were growing up. The police department never forgot those kids. Never got the kids. Here was a weird thing. Surviving spouse of a cop that's killed in the line of duty, Los Angeles Police Department, the surviving spouse continues to get their paycheck. So when a guy gets killed and his wife and they continue to get their paycheck. It's part of the union and part of the organization. Here's the kicker. Your paycheck, as long as you stay single. as long as you stay single. The moment you get married, the paycheck goes away. You can't up to your spouse and you to work it out. My brother was the only guy in California, Los Angeles, collecting a paycheck to help raise. And he started dating another girl I knew. And he ended up going to all kinds of councils and commissions and organization stuff and said, you know what? That's exactly right, Derek. What you're really doing when you put in a clause like as long as they're not married, you're forcing women and me to not get remarried. In many cases, they couldn't afford to get remarried. They would be giving up too much. So he was like, my brother's real conservative Catholic. He goes, you're basically forcing us to shack up. And not so much me because I'm doing okay, my brother. It's women. They changed it. My brother was on the leading edge of getting that little thing changed to where they worked it out. They gave him a paycheck for the next 7 years. And if you still weren't doing okay after 7 years, you could reapply. But all kinds of stuff. So when I think of the police, I have a whole mixed final kicker in all of this. We hear about it all the time now. About the police, peace officers or anything like that. Page, he was absolutely an agent of change in that situation. And they listened to him because he was such a rare bird, you know, the only in the same situation all the women are in. So he had a platform. Here's the kicker. We hear about it all the time. Again, no politics. But the guy that ran up and shot Tina, illegal alien. He'd already been in the country once and deported once. This is the second time, and the feeling is that he was afraid he was going to get deported again, so why don't I just kill the cops? So it puts me like I got immigration issues. I have, are police good or are they bad issues? And at the end of the day, there's so much. Individual is their own individual. At the day. And I can't make a political statement out of any of it. And I'm going to say this. 95, 96, 97% of the police are amazing people. You're going to get a bad egg. You're going to get a dealio. But who would want that job? Who would want that job? Especially the more and more. Now that our body cams are going to write the reports for us. Anyways, if you guys ever felt like looking it up, let's see. Look it up. Here, wait. I'll show you. Hold on. I'm always glad. I'm not kidding. I'm always glad when I get a chance to talk about Tina. Because she was such a gorgeous girl inside and that's my Tina. Isn't she beautiful, Jimmy? keeping her neighbors safe. This was the area that had happened. Thank you for letting that, you guys. Thank you for letting me share Tina this. Now I'm all Tina goosebumped. Oh, you should have seen the parade for her. Not the parade, but the wake. Because they had my brother's on the fire department. He was a captain on the fire department. They had fire department all lined down one side of the street. Police department all lined down the other street. All the way to the grave. We were all driving in lanes and stuff. And they dedicated a portion of a park in North Hollywood, Kerbrat, and at the academy for the women police cadets. Annually, at the end of when you graduate, one of the women cadets is going to receive a Tina Kerbrat Memorial Award. And that's for the cadet that they considered most improved over time in the academy. She receives an award, a certificate, and this. And she's the recipient that year of the Tina Kerbrat Memorial Award. Funny darn things. Somewhere in the 2000s, I got pulled over for a speeding ticket. I'm racing in my Z3, a little fast. And I get pulled over, and it's a woman, policewoman. She gets my ID. She goes, wait a minute. She goes, do you know a Tina Kerbrat? Looking at her, I haven't got out of the car. I'm looking at her, I go, yeah, that's my sister-in-law. She hands me the ticket back. I mean, the license and registration back with a warning. She says, you know how come I recognize that name? I said, no. She says, because I was a recipient of the Tina Kerbrat Memorial Award when I graduated. Tina got me out of a ticket. What do you guys think about it? It's a true story. She recognized the name. She goes, wait a minute, are you related to... And here I am misrepresenting all over town, okay? All out of control. And it's like, hey, you know you had a saint for a sister, right? It's a true story. Yeah, I did have a saint for a sister. She died for us. Oh, you got me in the fields here, you guys. So when I hear bad things about cops, I was mistreated by a cop once. But I also have a sister-in-law who died trying to keep her neighbors safe. What am I going to say? I have kind of a balanced look at police. All towns have a Tina, do they, Joe? That was a trip. I call my brother. Say, Tina just saved me a fine. That's right, it's human. And we don't want to prejudge them just because of what they wear. Let's judge them on their actions. It's a great story. I've got warm feels right now for you. My brother went on to remarry about 3 years later. Their most wonderful, beautiful girl, who was a previous friend of mine too. But my sister introduced them, and They've been married for over 30 years now. They went on to have 2 kids, so there were 4 altogether. And their kids are the greatest kids in the whole world. No problem. You guys ready? You guys ready to get through hearing these stories from me? Speaking of non-hallucinogenic psychedelics, scientists just delivered some new intel on how these psychoplastogens actually work. Either way, it turns out the prevailing theory about psychedelic brain rewiring needed some updates. Thank you, Nif. I love you. UC Davis researchers paired 5-MeO-DMT with TBG, or tabernathalog, which is a non-hallucinogenic analog of ibogaine that promises the brain benefits without the visionary journey. So you're not going to get the hallucinations. What shows that both compounds work through the same neuroplasticity pathway, activating the serotonin 2A receptor and downstream proteins. The difference is their intensity. Psychedelics are like turning a faucet wide open, while psychoplastogens let it drip. But apparently a trickle is enough to rewire your brain. Here's where this research challenges the dogma. TBG promotes neuroplasticity without triggering glutamate bursts, which up until now everyone assumed were essential to the process. And when researchers used lasers to zap away the new brain connections that TBG had created, the antidepressant effects disappeared. Together, this evidence suggests that hallucinations and therapeutic benefits of psychedelics may be a separate phenomenon after all. Big if it's true. Hallucinations are a phenomenon separate from the therapeutic benefits. And we're starting to figure stuff out. I love what science is figuring out nowadays. I'm so glad that they're doing it. That's the only reason I'm okay with Big Pharma playing in my tub. Does music matter to you when you're going to have an experience? Does music matter? Do you incorporate music into your experience, your journey? Kim's doing an absolute. Rodman's, of course. Niffy's an absolute. Exceptions, I'm not sure. Captain needs it to be silent and dark, okay? Okay. Music. Music is medicine. Anyone who's had their whole life, their whole world rearranged by the perfect song during a journey can attest to that. But curating a supportive soundtrack for an experience isn't as simple as throwing your favorite summer bops into a queue. So this week, we lobbed the question over to our network of practitioners. Have a great day, Lynette. How can I create the perfect playlist for my psychedelic journey? interesting? Is this interesting to you? Shall I go on? Shall I continue? Good, good, good. The one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work when it comes to psychedelic playlists. Angela Balboa said, it depends on the medicine and your intent. The playlist for an MDMA session with the partner, maybe more energy, flow, and even vocals, very different from a 5-MeO journey, which might be expansive and tonal, supportive of surrender with no vocal language. Wallace Murray brings in the therapeutic perspective. There is no perfect playlist, only one that is in right relation to your intention, context, and inner landscape. From a psychodynamic view, music acts as a container and a co-therapist. It carries an affective tone, it evokes memory, and it facilitates emotional release. If your intention is to deepen your connection with the natural world, Louis Below offers a different approach altogether. Music can powerfully psychedelic experience, but so can silence, wind, water, and bird song. If you have access to nature, let the birds be your soundtrack. I'm kind of that one. I'm sort of in that group. Again, it's no one size fits all, and there's no right and wrong. Many guides recommend structure list to mirror the natural progression of psychedelic experience. John Moose breaks down the phases. At the beginning, you want to feel something mellow and regulating that sparks curiosity. At the onset, you want something that builds with the energy of the medicine. At the peak, you want something that helps you stay in an expansive state. Oksana Kirsonova has her own formula. Begin with gentle, grounding music. Transition to deeper, more expansive during the peak. And close with calming, integrative sounds. Good morning, Goku. Joe Ross consciously dials the intensity, starting with the more gentle, building to a peak in the middle, and gradually bringing the intensity down until you are being held in gentleness. As usual, Ben Askins more colorfully. You're building a mythic arc for ego dismemberment. Boy, do we like that. You're building a mythic arc for ego dismemberment. Front load safety, middle out into shadow, and end with surrender, not resolution. One more paragraph. Generally, our practitioners agree on avoiding music that carries personal baggage or linguistic distractions. John recommends music that is unfamiliar to the client so that they don't have associations or connections. And it suggests avoiding words or languages that the participants, if you're English, don't do an English song. His recommendation. Mary Decker recommends choosing music you don't listen to often so as to keep it sacred and set apart. Instrumentals or vocals in unfamiliar languages are best to avoid thoughts. Katie Simons agrees. She favors songs that are not tied to a lot of memory or messages. unless that's what you want to be moving through. No hard and fast rules even around lyrics. Carrie Rowe believes some music with words, specifically and sporadically placed, can be incredibly powerful if they support the purpose of the journey. Summer McCool reminds us that ultimately, making a playlist is not about perfection. It's about resonance. I like that. So the fundamental question isn't what songs to choose. It's really, what role do you want music to play in your journey? That is, do you actively shaping your experience? Or is its role to hold space without interference? There's a whole spectrum here. At one end, you have the Icaros of Shipoba ayahuasca ceremonies. These medicine songs are used to invoke spirits and directly shift energy. At the opposite end, some modern practitioners advocate for non-directive soundscapes that won't manipulate emotions at all. And most approaches fall somewhere between these two extremes. Just know that if you do opt for emotionally evocative songs, there's a good chance they'll be permanently imbued with personal significance. Years later, hearing that one special track can transport you right back to the visceral sensations and feelings from your trip. Stash that one in your integration toolkit. And a final thought: don't sleep on silence. Although it's often quite confrontational, it may be the most honest soundtrack of all. Silence. I have not incorporated music much into any of the journeys or experiences. I haven't. Interesting. Usually I'm out in nature for anything, that I'm really looking for something that I'm integrating about. Of course, at fests and things like that, I'm just on very low dose, and there's always some beautiful music going on. And then at my grow house, whenever we're working in the grow house, I've always music going on in the grow house, and I dance. I really do. I'll twirl. There's no reason to walk from one tub to the next if I spin and end up at the next one. No kidding. You're in the presence of, some miracles. Why not act a little more miraculous and a little younger? I do these spins, Niffy. Instead of walking straight to something, I'll spin. One of these days we have to plant a camera in the grow room. Maybe a time lapse. And you guys can see Pops' moves. You know what Pops' moves. Pops can't dance a lick. That's why Miss Rose stopped letting me go out with him. So no, you can't dance. I'm going out with my sister. Let's get into the 4 agreements for the rest of today. The 4 agreements. Last time we were together, last Friday, we were talking about the law that is programmed into us through our society, through the dream of the world. And then we sort of ended at the point of, we have a judge in here, and in the same place occupies a victim. And that's funny, Higgs. We've got a judge and a victim that travel around with us all the time. It's been a consistent goal of mine to unemploy both of them. Unemploy both of them. I don't have a job anymore. And I don't want the victim to even be around me anymore. I'm through with him. Ended with this thought. True justice is paying only once for each mistake. True injustice is paying more than once for each mistake. Why is it only make Ruff, my dog, pay once for his mistake, but I would make my ex-wife pay 50 times for any of her mistakes? Why is that? You guys know what I'm talking about. You do the same thing. Usually the dog's off the hook after one correction. But she's not off the hook. I got to remind her what she did February 8th, 1977. And I'll remind her again in the next fight. And then we catalog them all. Once in a while, you got to run through the whole catalog. And then we did this, and this, and this, and this. That's not justice. You're not treating the per life with justice. Kimberly, you're not. Can you guys get what I'm talking about? Hey, you get a laundry list going. Oh, it's so unhealthy, Nippy. That's the relationships that don't last. Because it turns into criticism. Do you guys get what I'm talking about here? We have to work on that. We have to work on that. We work on only asking somebody to pay for their mistake once. They don't pay for it for the rest of their lives. How many times do we pay for one mistake? The answer is thousands of times. The human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. The rest of the animals pay only once for every mistake they make. They're like, oops, won't do that again. Oops, don't taste that again. All right, that's something I don't want to go near next time. They only pay one time for their mistake. Humans, thousands of times per mistake sometimes, especially if you're listening to the judge tell you over and over and over how bad you are. The rest of the animals pay only once, but not us. We have a powerful memory. We make a mistake, we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty, and we punish ourselves. If it exists, then that was enough. We don't need to do it again. But every time we remember, we judge ourselves again. We are guilty again. We punish ourselves again. We find ourselves guilty again. Are you being fair? Is fair? It's not even natural. It's completely unnatural. But that isn't what we were taught in our book of law. The book of law ignored nature on that one. How many times do we make our spouse, our children, or even ours pay for the same mistake? Every time we remember the mistake, we blame them, and we send them all the emotional poison that we feel at the injustice. Make them pay again for the same mistake. Has anybody ever done that? Can you see the inherent wrongness of it? Has anyone ever done that? Is that justice? Were we taught justice? No, Higgs, that isn't. It isn't justice. The judge in the mind is wrong because the belief system, the book of law, is wrong. The whole damn dream is based on false law. False law. That's not justice. That's not how we should treat each other, ourselves. Why weren't we taught the right way to ourselves? And to treat someone else when they'd made a mistake? The whole dream is based on false law. 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our minds are nothing but lies. And we suffer because we believe those lies. 95%. I don't know if you got that number, but it's not, I'm not arguing with it. In the dream of the planet, it is normal to suffer, to live in fear, create emotional drama. That is normal in the dream of the world. We have normalized that. From the time they were babies, we started teaching them. From the time we were babies, we were being taught. When you're babies, they're going to teach. The outside dream is not a pleasant dream. It's a dream of violence, a dream of fear, a dream of war, a dream of injustice. Look around our planet right now. Can anybody argue that this is a dream of war? How can you argue against that? This is a dream of violence planet. It's a dream of gossip planet. It's a dream of injustice planet. The personal dream of humans will vary. Probably it's mostly a nightmare. If we look at human society, we see a place so difficult to live because it's ruled by fear. Throughout the world, we see suffering, anger, revenge, addictions, violence in the streets, and tremendous injustice. It may exist at different levels in different countries, all around the world, but fear is still the one thing controlling the dream. If we compare the dream of human society with the description of hell that religions all around the world have promulgated, I find they're exactly the same thing. I agree with you, Paige. Religions say that hell is a place of punishment, a place of fear, pain, and suffering, a place where fire burns you. This is what we're teaching. There's a place out there. You're going to go there. It's filled with fear and pain and suffering, and it's going to burn you. And we teach that to our kids. So teach it to their kids. We stop teaching fear. What if we started with a totally different? Fire is generated by emotions that come from fear. Whenever we feel the emotions of anger, jealousy, envy, or hate, we experience a fire burning in us. We're living in a dream of hell. If you consider hell as a state of mind, then hell is all around us. Others may warn us we don't do what they say we should do. We're going to go to hell. Bad news. We're already in hell. The people telling us that are in hell. No human can condemn another to hell because we're already there. Pops on a soapbox at Venice Beach and everyone there going to hell. And I'm standing in the middle of hell myself. But the dream of the world told me that's what I was supposed to be doing. Spreading fear. Stand up on a soapbox, go to a pulpit, and spread fear. You know, one of the creepiest things is, but if you give us a little bit of money, you don't have to be as afraid. You sick dogs. Me being one of them. You give us a little bit of money. No human can condemn another to hell because we are all there. Others can put us into a deeper hell. That's true. But only let it to happen. This is where it all gets good news. We do not have to live in hell. We can see it all around us and be an occupier of the world, but not a participant. Not in that old book of laws, but in a new group of agreements. Every human has his or her own personal dream, and just like the society dream, it is often ruled by fear. We learn to dream hell in our life into our own personal dream. Same fear manifests in different ways for each person, of course, but we experience anger, hate, envy, and lots of other negative emotions. The ones we've been studying from Brené Brown's book. Our personal dream can also become an ongoing nightmare where we suffer and we live in a state of fear. But we don't need to dream a nightmare. It's possible to enjoy your dream. What? It is? All of humanity is searching for truth, justice, and beauty. We are on an eternal search for the truth because we only believe in the lies we have stored in our mind. We're searching for justice because in the belief system we have, there is no justice. So we're searching for it. We search for beauty because it doesn't matter how beautiful a person is if we don't believe that person has. We keep searching and searching when everything's already within us. There is no truth to find. We turn our heads at all, we see truth. But with the agreements and beliefs we have stored in our mind, we have no eyes for truth. We don't know truth because we're blind. What blinds us are those false beliefs that we have in our own mind. We have the need to be right and to make others wrong. That was one of the first things I changed about myself. I mean it, especially after reading the book. Because that's me. That was me in a thimble. I needed to be right and prove other people wrong. After all, I'm the great. I didn't even have to believe my position, but I needed to make sure you felt wrong. I could take either side of a subject, but I'm going to make you wrong. It's It's as if I was living in the middle of a fog that didn't let me see further than my nose. We live in a fog that's not even real. The fog is a dream, your personal dream of life. What you believe, all the concepts you have, all the things that you've made with others, with yourself, and even a higher. Your whole mind is a fog, which the Toltecs call a matote. Your mind is a dream where 1,000 people talk at the same time and nobody understands each other. This is a condition of the human mind. A big matote. And with that big matote, you can't even see who you really are. In India, they call the matote Maya, which means illusion. It is the personality's notion of I am. Everything you believe about yourself and the world, all the concepts and programming you have in your mind, are all the matote. We cannot see who we truly are. We cannot see that we are not me. That is why humans resist life. To be truly alive is the biggest fear humans have. Death is not the biggest fear. Our big fear is taking the risk to be alive, to be authentic. Gonna like me. I'm not gonna get hooked attention if they see me for who I really am. Pure fear. Just being ourselves, the biggest fear of humans. We have learned to live our lives trying to satisfy other people's demands. We have learned to live by other people's points of view because of the fear of not being accepted and not being good enough. They're gonna think I'm fat. They're gonna think they're gonna think I'm stupid. Courage is the risk to be yourself. Not worry about the acceptance of the matote world. During the process of domestication, this will be my last paragraph for today, we form an image of what perfection is in order to try to be good enough. We create of how we should be in order to be accepted by everybody. We especially try to please the ones who love us, like mom and dad, big brothers and sisters, the priests and the teachers. Trying to be good enough for them. We create an image of perfection, but we don't fit that image. We create this image, but this image is not real. We are never going to be perfect from the world's point of view. Ever. So not being perfect, we reject ourselves. Can you see problems coming up here? Since you're not perfect, since you can't possibly match that image, can you see any problems coming up? You see any mental health issues boiling away? We'll pick this up tomorrow. Oh, Michael, it's the full money. 100%. We're not good enough for ourselves because we don't fit our own image of perfection. Some fake one that was book of law into us. And we worry about what other people think about us. Good stuff. You got 5 people said, Pops, that's good stuff. Let's pick that up tomorrow. We're going to continue on in that same. It's just, we are reorganizing how we think right now. We're planning a different foundation. Okay? And the foundation is an internal one. We risk not worrying what the world thinks about us. Stop being the hypocrite, Pops. Stop doing it because it makes you look good. Do what your soul is meant to do. Watch your life change. When you're living your authentic life, watch your life change. Things, be impeccable. Don't take things personal. Don't have expectations. And today, just like we're already started out the day, let's do our best today. I care about tomorrow, and I certainly don't care about yesterday, and I certainly don't care about what you think. I care about it being authentic. When tonight, I'm not saying did Niffy like me today. I hope she did. She might if I was decent. But my goal for today was, did I do my best today? Was I the best Pops I could be today? Did I work on my 4 agreements whenever the opportunity came up? I could see it and I could implement an agreement into that situation. And I'm no longer living by the world book of law. That is freeing. That is the ultimate freedom. No heaven, no hell, no injustice, no victim, no violence, no wars, just kindness. Freeing myself to be kind. And screw the world's book of laws. We'll keep talking about this, guys, very, very much. Thank you for being here. We'll see you guys again tomorrow, 9 a.m. right here, same place, same time, and same subjects. Love it. Today, I'm going to scroll you guys out of here. Thank you again for you being here. Jesus Christ in Australia and Billy D. Nipper and Sarah Bear and Derek Anderson, thank you. Michael Shanti Patters. Hip Kitty, there's my meow girl. Nipper Mama, good girl. Let's see, who else is on here? Herbie and Sammy P. and Tessa. Tessa, nice to see Nipper Mama, Captain Obvious, Jolie. Good morning, Jolie. Justin and Jesus Christ and Herbs and Kimberly and Billy D and HP and Niffy and Aaron and Meow, Cot, Catzilla and Haig, Snap, have a beautiful day. My good friend Sarah Bear and Pidgey Page and Braden, love ya. Jesus Christ and Laurel, have a divine day. Joe D's, Cleany, Billy D, Mark Zammer and Jeremy Carpenter, Michael and Sammy P and Tessa, Brian C, Kimberly, Sarah Bear, Mr. Phillips, Joe D's, Herbie, Annam, Pops, peace, love, kindness. Just, it's nothing to it. Just change how you think. See you guys.